So on a damp circuit here at Donington, it's time to go racing this time. The light is out atop the safety car. 49 Citroën C1s for the Silver Lake C1 Challenge over 2.5 hours around the Donington Park circuits. Emax Motorsport pairing on the front row, car number 345 alongside the Daniel Emax car number 371, the yellow car. Second row 497 run by CSC Racing, the McEwen family, and the hashtag Blessed car number 326 heading this huge grid of multicoloured identical Citroën C1s. Almost ready to go racing this time. The safety car is going to pull into pit lane, and when the red lights go out, we will be underway for 2.5 hours of racing on the Donington Park National Circuits. Waiting for the lights to go out, and here we go. Headlights are on, and off they go down towards the first corner. Great start by the hashtag Blessed car. Colin Bysouth on board that machine, but it's going to be number 345 that takes the lead. It's James and Jake Little sharing that car. We don't know which of them it is. Just come up as Jay Little on the timing screen, unfortunately. Everybody looks to have got round red gate okay. Car number 329, that's Apex Performance, Bren Simpson and Tom Lambert. It's 345 of the Little family and Stuart Ratcliffe who holds the lead. Hashtag Blessed going for the lead here down the Craner curves. Colin Bysouth pulls ahead as they come down towards the old hairpin. Somebody on the grass and going off into the gravel there. There goes the first one. I knew we'd get a few incidents in that one. Now who's gone off over there to the right? It's rejoining whoever that is, 507, but it's going to get bogged down in the gravel. Number 507, that's one of the Ladybird team cars. Unfortunately, Wilbur Tilley is the man on board that machine, so he's stuck in the gravel at the old hairpin as they swarm their way through the old hairpin, then up to McLean's for the first time. 345 leads the way then. It's either Jake or James Little, we're not certain which, unfortunately. There is the 507 car of Wilbur Tilley stuck in the gravel. He's not going to get out from there without a snatch vehicle to help him. Second place, it is the 371, the Daniel Emax Motorsport car. Max Finn is driving that machine, and it looks like it's the CSC number 417 that has come through into third place, driven by David Scotting for this first stint. He's being chased by 467, that's Cat DT, with who's on board that car? Phil Marsh is driving that machine. He's trying to establish colours, numbers and starting drivers for this first stint, trying to go 3 wide into the chicane. A little further back there, I don't think that'll work. Over the line they come. It's Emax Motorsport that leads the way. Daniel Emax in second place, David Scotting in third, Phil Marsh going through up the inside in the black car. In the Cat DT car will take third place. Hashtag Blessed, Colin Bysouth, who briefly led, has gone down in a fifth place with the car of McEwen next. Ross McEwen starting the CSC Racing number 497. Then we've got Squadra Budino Nero with George Ingram on board. Beautiful paint job there, the multicoloured number 320 AASP car. Rainbow paint job. They head down towards the old hairpin for the second time. Then it's still Emax Motorsport that leads the way, taking it very gingerly in these early conditions. Very slippery indeed. 500 car goes through there, started by Simon Killam from the 500 CSC Racing, showing with Patrick Scharfegger, an experienced C1 racer. That's the white and blue car there, you can just see. Somebody off at 454, I think that's a Coppice, the 454 car. That is On the Edge Motorsports, and they're on the edge of the gravel trap there, unfortunately. Mika Stanley, the man who started that car, sharing with Andy Waltman and Alex Toy. I have to be careful. There's another car off in there as well, a green car I caught a glimpse of. We'll try and identify that in a moment. So there's been a tangle at Coppice there. The yellow flags will be out there. Looks like we've had a change for fourth. Yes, hashtag Blessed have got through. Colin Bysouth is back up into fourth, the bright blue car. Then we have got the CSC Racing FDL packaging car of David Scotting. That's the white and green car next in the order. He's under fire from the Scottish Saltire liveried machine. Ross McEwen getting through there. Scotting ran a bit wide. One car a bit adrift at the back there. 402 JW Bird Motorsport at the tail of the field. Here come the leaders. Just under a second in for the lead. Phil Marsh is going well, chasing Little at the front of the field in the Emax Motorsport car. Third is Max Finn. Then we've got Ross McEwen, David Scotting. There's a car being dragged out of the gravel at Redgate there. That might be the On The Edge Motorsport car, actually. You can see the yellow lights on, meaning that the yellow flags are out as well, just to warn the drivers to slow down. No overtaking. Ross McEwen fourth. Up into fifth position, it is David Scotting. Then we've got Simon Killam, George Ingram coming through next as Colin Bysouth has dropped back in the hashtag Blessed car, the bright blue car. There he is behind Simon Killam. So he's still ahead of the Squadra Budino Nero car, number 491, George Ingram. Slip and slide their way down into the old hairpin, keeping it safe and sensible at the moment. Leader a bit of understeer there through McLean's, the first three breaking away slightly, but Ross McEwen looking quick here in the number 497 in fourth. There's number 446 up into seventh place, Team TAC that is. Paul Dolan on board, classic car dealer. I believe that's the same Paul Dolan races BMWs with the Classic Sports Car Club among others. So here come the leaders. Phil Marsh waiting to attack the Emax Motorsport car at the front of the field for the lead. Max Finn in the yellow car just biding his time in third place. A long way to go yet. 2 hours 24 minutes. Ross McEwen in fourth. Fifth position we've got David Scotting. Sixth there is Simon Killam with the white and blue number 500. It's a lapped car ahead of the leaders there. The 402 car had a delay early on. That's Kieran Griffin. It's the wheel of that car. Fastest lap of the race done by Ross McEwen. There's a battle further back. Trying to move up the inside is the number 420 car by the look of it there. Sorry, 426 that is, DFTS Racing making the move. Plenty of action at the chicane, very busy in the midfield, you can see there. 3 and 4 abreast down the straights. Challenge on for the lead, Phil Marsh being made to go the long way round there by 345 Emax Motorsports. And David Scotting's hit the grass. We've got another spinner behind. That's the 446 car. He's going to go into the gravel. We'll keep it clean through there. He'll just about get out. 446 driven by Paul Dolan. He recovers. He's lost a fair few places there, though, the Team TAC racing car. See how slippery it is. Another one goes spinning into the old hairpin. He's really treacherous there. We have a change for the lead while that was going on. Phil Marsh in the Cat DT run car has taken over in the lead of the race from Emax Motorsports, 2 cars, second and third. Coming up to lap 402 of Kieran Griffin. Ross McEwen, quickest man on track last time through, did a 151.027. Chasing down our 3 leaders. A couple of cars that have gone out so far. Incidentally, if you have to be towed back from out on the circuit into the paddock, it's a penalty of 3 laps in Citroen C1 racing, the tow back penalty. I think already a couple of cars have fallen foul of that. On the Edge Motorsports and the second of the Ladybird cars, so Wilbur Tilley and Mika Stanley will get the tow back penalties. There's the other Ladybird car, Orlando Lindsay is on board that car at the moment in 506. His family well known for racing vintage cars. There's the number 442, the yellow and silver machine. That's Team Insane. Great team names in this race, I have to tell you. Heard a few of them when we went through the grid earlier on. Team Insane, driven by David Mears, number 442. 3 abreast here into Redgates. Ladybird is in the middle of it. Doesn't look much like a Ladybird, does it? No red with black spots. Missed opportunity there by Patrick and Amy Watson, their team. 422 there, that's Dog Rough Racing with Mendipt Energy. Car of Mike Gleaves and Stuart Milne. Faced by 462, that's AASP Motorsport. Where are they in the current race order? Quite a way down, I think. Yeah, towards the back of the field, those two. There's a battle in the midfield, number 329. That's the Apex Performance car of Bren Simpson and Tom Lambert. Bren Simpson in 24th place at the moment. Team Insane on their tail. There's the leader, Phil Marsh in Cat DT. by Little and Max Finn. Ross McEwen in 4th place, and 5th is still Colin Bysouth. This quartet's breaking away from the rest of the field slightly now. Biggest lap of the race by the leader last time through, 1 minute 50.575, and Max Finn is on the attack in the Torbay Car Hospital sponsored car, chasing 3-4-5. As we say, we don't know whether it's Jake or James Little at the wheel of that car at the moment, because it just comes up as J Little on the timing screen. Unfortunately, it's the one driver we don't know. Of course, one car in the pit lane there I noticed being worked on. That is the 491. Oh, that's the Team Black Pudding car of George Ingram is in the pit lane. We saw that possibly have a spin earlier on. I thought I caught a glimpse of. Picked up a bit of damage. There are the 5 leaders, well clear of everybody else. There we see 491 in the background, Squadra Budino Nero. Busy into the chicane again, somebody going straight on over the curbs there, number 531, DSC Motorsports. It's being driven by Martin Dolan. Nearly lost it there at the chicane, side by side. It's Paul Dolan recovering in the 446 car, trying to get past 486 of Donkwell. Donkwell run by CSC Motorsport. Paul Donkin, the ex-Area Latam Cup driver, driving that machine at the moment. Where's Hybrid Tune, the winners of the Silverstone 24 Hours? They're up to 8th place. They'll be a car to watch. They've had a couple of wins this year, including that 24-hour race. The other winners earlier this season were Davies Motorsport. They're not here this weekend. So the leaders down the exhibition straights. Conditions slowly worsening out there. Move up the inside there into McLean's. Who was that coming through? It's a bit tricky to see the numbers on some of these cars, so it might take me a moment to identify some of them. All good fun though. Very enjoyable racing from the C1s. Very slippery out there indeed. Car 491 looking to rejoin. We'll wait to see if it is still the same driver on board there, George Ingram, or whether Paul's taken over. You'll be able to tell when the car leaves the pits. The driver will scan the tag he's wearing, like a barcode. See him doing so there as he waits in the pit lane in the background and scans the tag, and we'll see if the name changes on the timing in a moment. Being held by the marshal at the end of the pit lane at the moment. 486 going through there, that's Paul Donkin. He's up to 13th place now, chasing Paul Dolan in the Team TAC Racing car ahead of him. And just in front of them, it's the green and white machine. I think that's David Scotting, so he may have had a moment somewhere. This one back. Oh, and Paul Dolan goes straight on, avoiding that car. The crazy is going to go through the gravel again. This is going to be interesting when he comes back on. I hope he can get the car stopped and back onto the tarmac. Look out! Ooh, that was close. In fact, it's one of the Silver Lake cars there he was racing with, number 458. That's Sam Stride at the wheel of that car. That could have been pretty dodgy. 332, the Gulf replica liveried car. There's always a Gulf car in every race, isn't there? 332 is the Crunchy Gears Motorsport team. Great team name. Who's driving that car at the moment? Dave Theobald is at the wheel of that car. 388 there, that's the Hybrid Tune car. That's going to be one to watch as the race progresses, number 388. And that's being driven by Tom Griffiths, who's also racing his Caterham here this weekend. And the Emax Motorsport car that was second has had a moment there and drops down the field. That's the Little and Ratcliffe car. So yellow flag out, the safety car is coming out in fact, so we've got somebody stranded somewhere. The safety car is coming out. There is the Tech Zen car, that's at the Craner curves. And axle deep in the gravel. That's the reason for our safety car. 445 is the car behind the safety car there. It's the lapped car of number 445 is one of the Emacs cars. Alex Port, Simon Cater, and currently driving Simon Nobes. I don't think that car has been into the pits yet, has it? Yes, it has made a stop. It has arrived, to say the least. Now I think that's the car that was, yes, behind the safety car. It's now been waved past the safety car. That's the car that was a lap down, number 445, Simon Nobes for Emacs Motorsport. So that car has been waved through, so the safety car has got the leader behind it. Is that a positive sign that we're going racing again? We'll try and look back to see if the lights are still on. Now, are we going back to racing this time? We'll see as the safety car... Yes, Paul Dolan's dropped back from the safety car. The lights are out. We're going racing once again. Almost exactly on the 2 hour to go mark. So half an hour into this race, we're going back to green flag racing. Here we go. There's Team Black Pudding in behind the race leader there. Here we go. Paul Dolan leads them away in car number 446. We are back to green flag racing with the Silver Lake C1 series, and a clean break by Paul Dolan down towards Redgate. A little bit of trim hanging off the left front there, but he won't let that slow him down. They're in second place, Team Insane. Then we've got the Ladybird, and car 415 is diving down the inside there. Did they all survive that? They did survive that 415 of Mike Graham. Did think better of diving down the inside there into Redgate corner. It's tiptoeing their way around. There's no grip out there at all. One of the drivers can see where they're going as well. If it is any consolation, it's even wetter at Silverstone, and I think racing has been stopped at the meeting there for the time being. They make their way up towards McLean. It's Dolan from David Mears in the Team Insane car. Into Coppice. Third place it is still Orlando Lindsay. No, he's lost out there. In fact, into third place it is Mike Graham in the Hardcore Model Makers sponsored car run by John Ardis, hence the name. The Squadra Budino Nero car is moving back up as well. That's a couple of laps down after a pit stop. See where that is in the entry, in the race order at the moment. They're a little further down as the cars come through the Roberts chicane. There's Hybrid Tune on the way up, the Dayglow yellow and white car. First three breaking away slightly as a result of the couple of back marks. Now Hybrid Tune are currently 11th. Here's one of the Silver Lake cars under fire from the camouflage livery there, number 522. That's the Auto Farm car, Steve Wood and Michael Wasty. Be a challenge on here for second. That's a brave move in these conditions at the Crater Curves. Mike Graham goes through in the Hardcore Model Makers car up into second place. Pretty crowded here at Redgate corner. There's Max Finn, number 371. Now he was in the top three early on. Where is he now? He's 28th after the round of pit stops. There's still a few cars that have elected not to come in for pit stops yet. First five cars. The first car that has pitted is Ross McEwen, number 497, the car with the Scottish flag on the bonnet. He's in sixth place. 429 in the middle of this group. That is the TOP Motorsport car, Marvin Ovens and Hugh Turner. 415 is now moving up to challenge for the lead, Mike Graham. Sharing the hardcore car with John Ardis. Now Dave Mears moving up as well. Was that a flash of lightning I saw then, or was it just a camera flash bulb? I'm not sure. Got everything here at Donington today, and we've got Mike Graham making a move for the lead, and he's going through. Or David Mears moving up as well in Team Insane. There's nearly contact there. Ross McEwen's the man on the move, though, in 5th place. Watch that 497 car, the CSC run car. Hybrid Tune moving through as well. But Mike Graham's gone to the front. Dolan down to 2nd. David Mears 3rd. There's 3-4-5 of the Emacs team. Had a moment earlier on while fighting for the lead. They're down in about 9th place now. McEwen 4th, ahead of the Team Black Pudding car there. Trying to find that. There's a bit of push and shove there out of the chicane. 5 or 6 cars together further back. Yeah, Squadra Budino Nero, Team Black Pudding, now with Paul Ingram on board, so they've changed drivers. Are down to 45th place. Running wide there, 3-4-5 Emacs Motorsports as Hybrid Tune make up another place. That car is on the move in the hands of Tom Griffiths. He'll be racing he was scheduled to race his Caterham tomorrow, but that car did pick up some damage at the last round for the Caterham graduates, so he may not be out at this one. There is the Hybrid Tune car. It was the team's other car and team of drivers that won the Silverstone 24 Hours this year. It's 4-1-5, Mike Graham for Hardcore Model Makers, who leads the way through McLean, chased by Paul Dolan, and Ross McEwen is now up into 3rd place in the 497 car. Got ahead of Dave Mears there through McLean. 5th behind them is the 3-Spark car, James Taylor, that started last on the grid. McEwen has made a pit stop as well. He's the first of the cars that has stopped. He's going to be in with a chance in this race, and of course everything could still change. You could have more safety car periods, we could have incidents, we could have things go wrong. There's the 3-Spark car. You can just see the headlights there in the spray behind Team Black Pudding. Look at this lot further back, half a dozen of them together. McEwen up the inside is going to take 2nd into the chicane, under braking from Paul Dolan. That's a good move. There's Orlando Lindsay in the red car, and behind him is 404. That's Alistair Hall for Harvey Racing in the Rothmans lookalike car. He's moved up well, but he's got Hybrid Tune on his tail. That is Tom Griffiths. Normally used to rear-wheel drive with his Caterham. Here come your leaders. One car rejoining from the pits there, number 422, Dog Ruff with Mendip Energy. Who's driving that now? It's driven by Mike Gleaves, I think. There's the 404. You can see that's Rothman's Porsche lookalike livery. Martin Dolan, DSC Motorsport, has come into the pits. There's the 402 car, the ex-VW Racing Cup drivers, Kieran Griffin and John Prendergast, crewing that machine. They had problems early on, they're running at the back of the field. The leader zips past the 445 Emacs Motorsport car. Put them a further lap down. That's Simon Nobes. Into the pits comes car number 332. That's the Gulf livery car, the Crunchy Gears car, David Theobald and Paul Vokes. The car goes a lap down. That's number 388, I think. No, not 388, 383. Track Talk with Amigo Motorsports. Robert Jarvis and John Clements, crew in that machine. It's not, it's the other Amigo car, 380. Apologies there. Said I'd have some trouble telling these cars apart as Paul Dolan slides wide there. They need to publish a spotter's guide for these cars with all the liveries on it, like they do for the Le Mans 24 Hours. Make it easier to tell them apart. And McEwen now up into 2nd place and chasing down Mike Graham for the lead. Here they come into the chicane. David Mears up the inside takes Paul Dolan for 3rd place, and the safety car is coming out again. The safety car is coming out again, so this is going to shake things up again. That'll annoy Ross McEwen because he was just about to challenge for the lead going down to Redgate. He's greeted by yellow flags and safety car boards. There's the reason. Now who's that? Number 354 is that? I'll identify that car correctly as it comes towards us. I haven't got a 354, so that can't be right. Just testing the steering and the brakes there. Safety car out again. Hopefully this will only be a short period because the car that was stranded at Redgate, you can see, is now going again. Who is it? It's number 356. JW Bird Motorsport, Jeff and Rory Clark crewing that car. They're running down in 35th place. Jeff Clark, the man who spun there. So, there's the reason for the safety car. Car 402 has crashed. Damage to the back of the car. Now, where's that? Craner curves. I think there's another car off there behind the barriers. Look, oh, that's the 448 car that was towed off earlier on out of the gravel. So it's Kieran Griffin, number 402. The JW Bird car's crashed out. That's why we've got the safety car. It wasn't the car stranded at Redgate after all. Running nose to tail, as they were early on, but no longer at the front of the field. There you can see cars that have been into the pits being held by the marshals before they can rejoin at the back of the line. Number 350, I think that is the JTR car. Jason Tarling and David Pearce is at the front of the line there. The safety car is coming in this time. That was a slightly late decision, and we do go back to green. I thought we were going to do one more lap there, but we're back underway. And off they go. So the pursuit is on of Ross McEwen then. 369 of Team Cock Endurance lead the chase. Adam Cunnington. Clouds of spray, headlights ablaze. Drivers have all been told to have their rain lights on. There's the 501 car. Trying to hold off number 371 there of Max Finn, who makes a move on the inside. I think it's still Max in that car anyway. Keeping up with all the driver changes is one thing, keeping up with position changes is another. There's the leader, Ross McEwen. Alex McEwen not yet having had a go. We're coming up to the 1 hour mark, an hour and a half to go shortly. The leader continues to carve his way through the pack here. He restarted the race in the middle of the pack. Oh, Team Insane is in gravel. Oh dear. 442, I think that's Maurice Crockett on board that car at the moment. He's stuck there and trying to get out. Hopefully a quick shove from the marshal to get Maurice Crockett out of the gravel there. Team Insane, who ran second at one point, they're down in 21st now, and another one goes off and over. Goodness me, who was the... Here we see what's happened. Watch the 531 car just slid sideways onto the grass. Off he goes, digs into the gravel and up and over. Oh, 2.5 turns, nicely done by Billy Selly. 6 out of 6 for artistic impression, but he's out of the race. Ross McEwen for CSC Racing, still your leader. Here we go. And the 460 car of Oliver Weston follows the safety car into the pit lane to make a stop. So off we go. 522 Auto Farm and 491 of Team Black Pudding lead them off. There's McEwen, the 415 car coming in there. That's Hardcore Model Makers, John Ardis bringing that car in. It is Ross McEwen that leads the race overall. Best part of a lap up on his pursuers. He's got in a bit too quickly there into Redgate, running wide. Just about holds it together. He's getting really wet down there though, onto the curbs. There's 522 in second place, Steve Wood. Up to third is Sam Stride, the white car with the green bonnet stripe there. He's got ahead of Simon Killam in the number 500. That's third and fourth we look at now. And up to fifth is the Track Talk car, number 383, driven by Rob Jarvis. Behind him was Oliver Weston. He's now in the pits. Quattro Formaggio is next through. 4 Cheese, of course, that means. Alistair May driving that car at the moment. There's only a few cars on the lead lap of this C1 Challenge Series race. 392 car there, that's Quattro Formaggio. You think a car named after cheese would be yellow, wouldn't you, not blue? There is Auto Farm, leading the race on track at the moment in terms of where the cars were left when the safety car pulled in, but second place in the overall classification. Green flag's being shown around the circuit because it's the first lap after the restarts. Well, the lead gap is 1 minute 40 seconds. There's the leader. There's 2.5 seconds in it for second place, Steve Wood and Sam Stride. Right behind Sam Stride is Simon Killam. How many cars have we got on the lead lap? About 7 at the moment. Quattro Formaggio fifth. AASP Motorsport with Matthew Mandipra driving. That's the rainbow livery car in 6th place. And Cat DT is still on the lead lap there, the black car with the red and green stripe. That's driven at the moment by David Alstadter. Leader mired in this traffic at the moment, trying to get through. Max Finn giving chase to a couple of cars here down the craters. Quattro Formaggio is one of them. Getting through on the inside, trying to make up a lap here, the number 371 car. Safety car periods have thrown this race into confusion. Look at this, nearly 4 wide down the straight there. Crater Curve still the most treacherous section of the circuit. 371 slides out wide. I think that's still Max Finn on board. We'll check that. Quite a way down the order. Yes, it is. They're 33rd, the Daniel and Emax car. Julian Daniel, I don't think, has yet had a go. A lot of the 2-driver cars have not yet swapped drivers. They'll do so at about half distance, which is coming up fairly shortly. Yeah, 1 hour 21 to go, so we're nearing halfway. Still your leader is Ross McEwen. 1 minute 37.6 is the gap to Steve Wood there. He is in second. So are they starting to catch up on Ross McEwen? We'll have to wait and see what happens when the 497 car, there it is, coming over the line now, makes its next pit stop. Completed 28 laps so far in a time of 1 hour 8 minutes, 52 seconds. Again, a little bit out of shape through Redgate, keeping it together. Coming up on a car that was fighting for the lead in the early stages, Cat DT. David Alstadter driving, having taken over from Phil Marsh. The car is currently in 7th place, so everybody up to 7th is going to be lapped here by our race leader, and there's still 1 hour and 20 minutes to go. It could all change. Sure, there'll be more safety car periods. Steve Wood still second, and a bit of side-by-side racing through there. There is 415. Now, where are they now? We're fighting for the lead earlier on. We've seen how quickly things can change at C1 race. Yes, the Hardcore Model Makers car, after a pit stop, is down to 39th. Mike Graham is back on board that car now. There's 522 Auto Farm, still in second place. Who's that up behind them? That's the second Ladybird car. Now, they got a 3-lap towback penalty earlier on, so they're running in 46th place, 6 laps down. Because the car had to be recovered, and then they had to make sure it was okay to continue racing. Who's on board that 507 car? It's still Wilbur Tilley at the moment. There goes the fight for third between Sam Stride and Simon Killam. Out of the pit lane comes number 417. It's the CSC Racing FDL packaging car, the David Scotting and Stephen Cunniff car. Oh, and a bit of a tangle there. And that was the leader nearly involved. 467 got a bit of a tap there from the leader, I think. Could have been disastrous for Ross McEwen. Just clipped the back of David Alstadter there. Side by side down the back straight. Meanwhile, 447, the green car, the Intersport racing car, Alex Spooner and Ben Stone, passed by number 404. That's the Loftmans look like. Oh, and somebody's hit trouble at the chicane ahead of them. Who was that? Couldn't quite see the number on that car, unfortunately. 356, I think it was, possibly the JW Bird Motorsport. Yeah, that's the Clark family. That's the car that ended up in the gravel at Redgate earlier. Didn't require a towback though, so no penalty. 440 racing with them. That is MSAR. Still second is 522 Auto Farm. Will we see Ross McEwen go a full lap up on the field? Most cars have now made 2 pit stops. Silver Lake 2, this car has only made 1. 458 Sam Stride on board. Progressive Motorsport, number 521, with Steve James on board, they've stopped 5 times. And they're still in 10th place, that's impressive. Change for 5th place. Matthew Mandipira has got past there, has got ahead of Quattro Formaggio, now battling with Max Finn. I think Finn's a lap behind them though. But still, the leader can't get past David Alstadter in the Cats DT car. Is he going to get him into Redgate? Yes, he is. A little bit of damage on the left front wing of the race leader. That was from that contact a lap ago. 1 hour 17 minutes to go. Silver Lake C1 Series 2.5 hour challenge. Silver Lake's own car, Silver Lake 2 in 3rd. And got CSC Racing with Simon Killam 4th. Hashtag Blessed coming through there. They led briefly early on. Mark Bennett driving that car. 21st overall. Somebody off, that's the 399 car sliding along the grass, the Moorwin Motorsports car. Mind the GT tyres board there. Moorwin Motorsport, Vince Fitter, Nick Goff and Josh Wallace. Who was responsible for that off? Who's in the car at the moment? Try and see that again. Ooh, sideways through the craners, that's a bit of a scary moment. Moorwin Motorsports not winning at the moment, other than in good saves without hitting anything. That was pretty close. It's Josh Wallace on board that car, and they were up into 8th place overall on that lap. Lost a few places there going grass tracking. McEwen still leads, 1:34.5. 1 minute 34.5 is the gap between 1st and 2nd. There is 2nd place. Then the fight for 3rd between Sam Stride and Simon Killam. They're in behind the Ladybird car. Somebody else off, 381. Amigo Motorsport, that's the Robertson family car. Now, which of them's on board? It's Adam Robertson. He was 22nd. Going onto the grass there. It's coming into the old hairpin. We've got a lot of cars losing it at the Craner curves. Bit of mud plugging there as well. Round he goes. Mind the gravel. Ooh, just there. That was close. If he'd gone any further there, he probably have got stuck. Ross McEwen continues to lead this Citroën C1 Challenge. There goes 431, that's the Meltune car, side by side with Cock Endurance. Where are they now? 15th and 14th, yeah, fighting it out. That's for position as well, for 14th place. They're battling it out. It's relatively close. 2nd down to 21st place are all on the same lap. So it is fairly close, other than for the lead. There's the leader. Ross McEwen continues to charge round. He's just done a personal best in the first sector, 31.095. Whisper, it might be going outside. Don't say it too loud, I don't want to put the curse of the commentator on things. Although as I say that, it has gone very dark once again. I promise you this is not a 24-hour race. Nice if we could have a 24 hours here at Donington, but to ensure a large grid, that's held at the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit every year. There's 521, that's the other camo liveried car, Progressive Motorsport that is, Steve James and Dave Ward. They're in 8th place despite having made 5 pit stops. Bit of an Ayrton Senna style performance here, remember the 93 European Grand Prix. Leader into Redgate once again. Still 1 hour 13 to go, so we're just past half distance in this 2.5 hour race. 32 laps completed by race leader, and off goes Quattro Formaggio. They're going off backwards, look out, oh that was close. Goodness me, AASP just missed them and the gravel arrests the progress of the 392 car. That was a scary moment indeed. Car number 392, Alistair May, who is up to 4th place in the Quattro Formaggio car share with Chris Parks, has parked it in the gravel, off backwards there, and 320 of Matthew Mandipira, AASP Motorsport, only just missed him. They go back to green. Here they come then. 4:04, the Team Harvey car in behind them. It is James Harvey driving now. Rothman's liveried car. One car going into the pits, a couple of cars in. The 446 car is one of them, which had Jamie Hodgetts on board. Paul Dolan, of course, led early on in that car. Car 399, the car we saw go grass tracking earlier, comes through. Here they come then. Race leader car 497. I think he's almost lapped everyone now, of Ross McEwen. Yeah, there's 522. Where's 497? There he is. Yeah. First has almost lapped second now. But again, it could still all change, especially in conditions like this. Slip and slide their way through the old hairpin. And the leader's got a quartet of back markers ahead of him here. Ross McEwen tries to make his way through. That's one of the Ladybird cars getting out of his way there, number 506. I think it's Delaney Watts on board that car. McEwen comes up on the 371. Still being driven by Max Finn. Hasn't yet handed over to Julian Daniel. 521 ahead. That's the running mates to the Auto Farm car. It's Progressive Motorsport there, third. So we've got third in the middle there. Second place is the grey camo car with the green flashes on the fronts. Third place in this race is the similarly coloured car but with the yellow flashes, and then the 497 car, the leader behind them. So that's the lead margin. You can see it now. They're all together on the track. Almost a lap up is the 497 car with 1 hour 4 minutes to go. Over the line they go. Up to fourth is DFTS Racing. That's Sean Doherty, the number 426 car. It's the red car with the white stripes there. He's just taken Josh Wallace in the 399 for fourth place. And behind them in sixth is number 329. There's the all-red car of Bren Simpson. He has got Meltune Motorsport up behind him in seven. That's the white and blue car, number 431. They've got the race order fairly close there in the top 10. It's all about the 497 out in front. Can he hold on for another hour or so in front? The second and third cars now line astern. Steve James is going to try and attack Steve Wood for second place. Coming up on the 415 car, that's the Hardcore Model Makers car. Who's driving that at the moment? We'll see in a moment, because they're about to pass him, and the leader is almost upon these two now to lap them and put himself a full lap in the lead. Steve Wood's only made 2 stops so far. McEwen has made 2. Here comes 521 of Steve James. He's going to go through on the inside at the chicane. Up into second place. Yes, he's done it. Steve Wood gives him a push out of the chicane. Robbins Racing, as they say. And we've got a car off. That's 463 Venus Motorsports in the gravel. I think that's at the old hairpin again. James Canning's the driver. And the safety car will be out again. So we go safety car again. It is at the old hairpin. And the marshals get ready to remove another car. So the order is McEwen, James and Wood. Sean Doherty for DFTS Racing is fourth. Apex Performance are up to fifth. Bren Simpson's got ahead of Morwin Motorsport with Josh Wallace. Hybrid Tuner seventh. Driving for them now is James Down. He's moved up into seventh, ahead of Patrick Scharfegger, CSC Racing, number 500. Emax Motorsport with Stuart Ratcliffe are in ninth place, number 345. The car that started from pole. No, Stewart. We'll soon get back underway and racing then. Yes, the safety car is coming in this time, and we will get back underway. Here they go. And over the line is the leader, going to go a full lap ahead here. He's catching the 5.21 of Steve James. Ross McEwen, there he is. He still hasn't been in for a third stop for that car. Still 3.71 of Max Finn stays ahead of him. He's 16th. He's using this race with the leader to climb up the field. 5.21 ahead of him, so there's nearly a full lap between first and second. Sean Doherty's come in from third in car number 4.26. That's going to put Hybrid Tune up into third place with Jason Down. Can he chase them down for the lead? Pretty unlikely at the moment. All depends on when Ross McEwen next stops. Has he built up enough of an advantage? Patrick Scharfegger for CSC Racing is still 5th. 6th is Morwin Motorsport, but Josh Wallace has just come in. Hashtag Blessed a 7th. That car's still got the fastest lap of the race from Colin Bysouth. It's currently Mark Bennett on board. 8th is Emax Motorsport, Stuart Ratcliffe now on board that machine. Then JW Bird Motorsports, number 356, that's the Clark family car. In 9th place, their other car out of the race. And 569 CTS Motorsport with Tom Davis on board next in the order in 10th. There go the first and second place cars. Second is the grey and yellow car. Your leader still not up with him. So evenly matched, these little C1s. 4.15 is taken by them. It's Mike Graham in the Hardcore Model Makers car. Through the Robert chicane they come. 3.71 Max Finn. About to be lapped by our race leader. Coming up to 54 minutes of the race to go. Could still all change. It's looking good for Ross McEwen and CSC Racing. Pit boards are hung out to tell the drivers their positions. Morwin Motorsport, you can see in the pits there. Josh Wallace may well be getting out. Who have we not seen in that car so far? Either Vince Fitter or Nick Goff getting in. The leader has finally got past Max Finn, the yellow car. Now chasing down the 4.15. Hashtag Blessed has come in, Mark Bennett. I would imagine he'll be handing over to Chris Etheridge. I don't think he's had a go yet. Morwin Motorsport still in the pit lane. Side by side, that's a 350 car. It's JTR, Jason Tarling and David Pierce coming through on the inside. Number 500 flying up the inside there into the old hairpin. That's Patrick Scharfegger. Can 5.21 Steve James here hold off the 4.97 Ross McEwen? He still hasn't caught him yet. Have a look at their lap times. They're lapping about the same. Yes, just a few tenths apart. Indeed, James was slightly quicker last time through. 151.4 as opposed to 152.0. He's determined not to be lapped here. Somebody asking in the YouTube comments, is it just Citroen C1s out there? Yes, it is. They're all identical 998cc Citroen C1s. These cars kept as standard and as equal as possible. Modifications only for safety. So second ahead of first there over the line. Steve James just did his personal best lap, 149.160. McEwen did 149.884. He's not catching him at the moment to lap him. 41 laps completed by the race leader. They swing their way down the Craner curbs. Patrick Scharfegger is up to third. He got ahead last time through on Hybrid Tune. Jason Down. The Hybrid Tune are already up there. James Down, I should say. Apologies, not Jason. There's Team Black Pudding making a move. It's on the 383 car. It's the Track Talk and Amigo Motorsport car. Rob Jarvis and Adam Clements crewing that car. Hashtag Blessed has rejoined. It is Chris Etheridge on board now. 371 runs out wide there. That's Max Finn. There's the car that started from pole, number 345, Emax Motorsports. One of the littles on board now, and taken over from Stuart Ratcliffe at the last pit stop. Unfortunately, we don't know which, sorry. 448 is going again. It's the Tech Zen car, which ended up in the gravel earlier on in the race. They finally got it back out again. It's 34 laps down on the leaders. I don't think they'll be classified somehow. Continuing to lead, Ross McEwen. I see it. Is that an indicator going? I see there. Is the leader coming in? No, he's not. Thought he might be signalling to go into the pits there, but no, he's not. Still leading. Is he not going to make another stop, perhaps? Is he going to go with just the 2 stops in this race? Everybody else in the leading 15 or so has stopped at least 3 times. The Harvey Racing team have only stopped twice, so have 3 Spark Racing. Started last, they're now 17th. There's one car, the AASP car of Ian Gorringe, has only stopped once. Cat DT are falling down the timing screen, and so are the Ladybird car of Patrick Watts. Has Patrick hit trouble somewhere? He's dropped 8 places on that last lap, 9 now. Yes, Patrick Watts has disappeared somewhere out on circuit, I think. Wait to see if the symbol comes up to say that he's not come through on this lap. So 50 minutes to go, then it's still Ross McEwen from Steve James. Patrick Scharfegger is 3rd. Oh, and there's a spinner. Who's that going off at the Craner curves? Over the grass they go, mind the gravel. I think they've just about saved it there. Quite see who it was there. Here are your leaders, 2nd ahead of 1st. McEwen could be on for the fastest lap of the race here. He did a purple sector in Sector 1, 30.806. He's done a green sector in Sector 2, though, his personal best. Leaders come through the chicane. Max Finn behind them in the 371 car. Is it going to be a fastest lap for Ross McEwen as he crosses the line? Yes, it is. 1:48.725. New fastest lap for Ross McEwen. So he's opening the taps now. It's hashtag Blessed ahead of them, the blue and Dayglow car. Now, where are they running after their last stop? They've dropped down the order a bit, haven't they? Yes, now in 13th place. It's looking good for CSC Racing, number 497 here. Progressive Motorsport in 2nd, despite I think making the most pit stops. 5 stops for them so far. Anybody else stop that many times? Yes, towards the back, the 507 Ladybird car, but they of course had an early off. Merlin Glanville driving that car now. Now, did we see that Patrick Watts was dropping down the timing screen, or was it a transponder issue? No, he is there, 35th place. There goes the leader, coming up to lap team Insane. A gravelly moment for them earlier on at Redgate. So we'll see where the leader has rejoined then as we go back to green flag racing here at Donington Park. Most likely going to be at the back of the line because he came in during that safety car period. There's a couple more cars now in pit lane. Now we'll establish the lead gap. It looks like it was showing under the safety car as 2 minutes 49 seconds. So he's at least a lap up. Still got under 44 minutes of this race to go, so it could all change yet. I think you chop and change there into the old haircut. We're on lap 45 of the race as well. Nice synchronising the numbers.
Carl is in Patrick Sharpling, Carl at the 500, has conducted all three of these pit stops as far as we're aware, has had 3 visits to the pit lane area, and has rather quietly, typical endurance racing fashion, has rather quietly not brought itself to the attention for either any good reasons or bad.
Still they race on. There's 5:06. That I think is Patrick Watts, from the touring car start. There is the leader. 45 laps complete now. He's sliding about all over the place. Alex McEwen just getting used to the car and used to the track conditions. Number 500 second. Now there is the 500 car. He's in this group. That's the white and blue car with Patrick Scharfegger on board. CSC Racing 1 and 2 now. How far back is Hybrid Tune? Or have they already got through? Hybrid Tune, I think, are in behind them there. There's the 500 out of the chicane. What's the gap going to be as they come through this time? Of course, the McEwens have been into the pits. It's 52.8 seconds, the lead gap now. So they've come out with a comfortable lead still after their stop. Third is Hybrid Tune Full Circle Racing. That's the Dayglow yellow and white car. JW Bird, the red number 356, is on their tails in 4th place. And 5th, we've got 569 CTS Motorsport with Tom Davis driving. They're about 5.7 seconds further back. So that's the order established. Waiting for the there's 2nd place, there's 3rd. The red car is 4th with the white roof, I think. The order sorting itself out. They're still well behind Alex McEwen in car number 497. There is the lead. See what the gap is next time through. It was 52.8 seconds through the chicane. More safety car periods could change things though. More people find gravel. 426 currently is in, no, 422, sorry. That's the Dog Rough with Mendip Energy car. Being lapped. Who's driving that car at the moment? Quite a way behind that car in 41st place. It's Mike Gleaves driving that car at the moment. 429 being passed there. That's the top motorsport car of Owens and Turner. We wait for Patrick Scharfegger to come through. There he is, coming down the exhibition straight, the 3rd car in this group. We can see what the gap is. There's a bit of door handling ahead of him there. 506, the Ladybird car, and one of the AASP cars. That's a battle for 28th place. Lead gap is, has it increased? As across the line, no, it's come down, 48.694 seconds. So it's closed in by 4 seconds on that lap. Patrick Scharfegger. He's locked up a bit there going into Redgate, comes out wide. Patrick Scharfegger starting the chase. He's got 40 minutes to catch Alex McEwen. Light has improved here. There's a 3rd place car, Hybrid Tune. They're 2.5 seconds back on Patrick Scharfegger for CSC Racing. Now, are we going to see Scharfegger hunt down Alex McEwen? Rory Clark is 4th, a very quick young Scotsman in the JW Bird Motorsport car. Their other car, of course, out of the race. CTS Motorsport in 5th. That's the 569 of Tom Davis. Here's the leader. Lap 422 there, the Mendip Energy car. Through the chicane and over the line. The gap was 48.6 at the end of lap 46. Coming through the complete lap 47. That's one of the Silver Lake cars in the gravel. That's number 457 of Tony Cooper and James Keepin, I think. Is that going to be another safety car, I wonder? That'll be the last thing Alex McEwen wants to see. Yeah, that's James Keepin in the gravel. He was 7th. We'll see again what's happened there. Is it the same circumstances as a few of our other spins? At the top of your picture, there he goes, sideways down the Craner curves. No way of saving that, and into the gravel. Lucky that didn't go over. Not again, say the marshals. The recovery vehicle had fired up there almost before the car had stopped moving. Now what's the lead gap now? The lead gap has come down, my goodness, to 34.5 seconds. The last lap for Alex McEwen was 2 minutes 4 seconds. That's a long way off the pace. That's a very slow lap by Alex McEwen. I wonder why that was. There's the other Silver Lake car. That's got its front end taped together, so that's had an incident somewhere. 458 of Mike Chapman and Sam Stride. But Alex McEwen has lost a lot of time there to Patrick Scharfegger. James Down is third. Scharfegger is charging after our race leader. This race ain't over yet for the Citroen C1s here at Donington. Track's still very wet out there, but conditions improving slightly. There's the Performance French cars, sponsored number 399, the Morwin Racing car. They're down in 23rd now with Vince Fitter at the wheel. Try and pick up our race leader Alex McEwen if we can, the Scottish liveried car. Yellow flags out at the old hairpin because of that spun car. No safety car at the moment because the Silver Lake number 457 were being recovered there, the car of James Keating. 454, that's the On The Edge Motorsports car. A long way behind after earlier problems. They're in 43rd. Andy Toyne at the wheel. Alex Toyne, sorry. There's Scharfegger. Now, last lap for Alex McEwen was 1:57. Here comes second place. He's in that line somewhere. There is Scharfegger, number 500. What's the gap going to be this time? It's down to 28.2 seconds. So he's after Alex McEwen. Alex not as quick as Ross, so that's why Ross stayed in the car for as long as possible. He's the quicker of the two drivers. Alex McEwen not lapping on his earlier pace. It's the number 500 car starting to chase after it. Third is still James Down for Hybrid Tune. He's now nearly 5 seconds off Patrick Scharfegger. He's got Rory Clark behind him, so he could see a change for third. JW Bird Motorsport 2.2 seconds down. Scharfegger is on the chase. A lot of experience over the last few years in C1s. Fifth place is Tom Davis. Sixth for Meltune Motorsport is Luke Haberman. Auto Farmer 7th, Michael Wasty. Then in 8th place is Apex Performance with Tom Lambert driving. 9th is the Rainbow Warrior, the AASP Motorsport car with Sam Barron on board. Rounding out the top 10, hashtag Blessed, another one goes off at the old hairpin. Oh, that's the 332 car, Crunchy Gears Motorsport. It's Crunchy Gravel Motorsport now. The 332 car, who was on board at the time there. I'll pick that up in a moment, we'll see it again. Top of your picture, yeah, exactly the same place. That's catching everybody out that bit of track. Round he goes, and into the gravel. That will bring out another safety car. Now, this is where things get interesting. Racewitch driver John Widowson for his efforts in this race, and here we go. Back underway, they can't overtake before the line, of course. Patrick Scharfegger's hemmed in by back markers there. Starts the chase once again. They're so evenly matched, these cars, you really have to slipstream each other down the straights. There is Scharfegger, the number 500. He's mired in traffic there as he goes into Redgate. He's got the 506, the Ladybird team car alongside him. 422 of Dog Rough Racing on the outside. There's the third place car. Oh, somebody going off. Who was that? Didn't quite make out a number on that machine that went spinning. Might have been 3 Spark Racing. Yes, it is 3 Spark Racing, number 459. That's a shame. The car that started last and made it up into the top 10. I hope they don't end up last again. They've still got their Spark. They're still going. Who was driving that? It was James Page driving that car. So McEwen from Scharfegger. McEwen's already crossed the line. Here's the hashtag Blessed car with Chris Etheridge on board, trying to get round the outside of Ben Stone in 417. Emax Motorsport, the pole-sitting car, the white car with the orange grille behind them. And somebody else has gone off there. That's 399 again. Morwin Racing. They like that bit of grass, don't they? They've been across there once. Is it Josh again? Josh Wallace? No, it's Vince Fitter this time for Morwin Motorsport. That car going very slowly. It's the top of your screen. Exactly the same bit of track again. Spins around. Is he going to be hit? No, not quite. Just avoided there by one of the Silver Lake cars. And off onto the grass, just clips the gravel, but trying to keep going.
Was very close to being contact there. I think that's 399 again now.
Hopefully Vince Fitter can keep that car running.
Back onto the circuit, and Patrick Sharpfigger's managed to
500 starting the chase of our race leader. The gap is now 1 minute 14.9 between Andy. I knew I'd say Andy McEwen. Eventually, he's a fellow commentator. Apologies there. Alex McEwen and Patrick Sharpfigger. 1 minute 14.9 between the two of them. Patrick Sharpfigger starting the chase once again. He's got to start it all over again. He's going to try his hardest. CTS Motorsport, number 569, have just pulled into the pits. Tom Davis on board for a final stop. 26 minutes then to catch this man. 497, our race leader, Alex McEwen. There's AASP Motorsport ahead of him, the car of Sam Barron, the Rainbow Warrior. He's just past the 381 as well. That is Amigo Motorsport, the Robertson family. 2 hours, 4 minutes, 4 seconds of the race completed as he went through there. He waits for the chasing pack to come through. They're about half a lap behind at the moment. They'll slide their way through the old hairpin. Let's hope we have no more spinners there. We've had one rollover. If you missed it earlier on, it was the 531 car with Billy Selhey driving, DSC Motorsport. Thankfully, he's okay. Let's see what the gap is next time through. Sharpfigger has just done his personal best first sector, 31.131. He's done the personal best second sector as well. There's the 500 car. The gap was just under 1 minute 15 seconds. We'll see what it is this time through. The last lap for the leader was a 1 minute 56. Here comes Patrick Sharpfigger. The chase is on once again. Is he going to do a personal best lap here? Yes, he has. He's done a 1:49.724. He's got the gap down to 1 minute 8 now. Now 24 minutes. And he's lapping about 6 seconds a lap quicker. This is going to be close. Try not to do the mathematics in my head, because one, I'll probably get it wrong, and two, there's a lot more going on for me to concentrate on here. 497 is still your leader ahead of 500. 388 hybrid tune, the Dayglow yellow and white car with James Down on board is still in third. JW Bird with Rory Clark driving are in fourth. Up to fifth is Michael Wasted. The Auto Farm car has got ahead of Meltune Motorsports' Luke Haberman. There's the leader in this package behind AASP and one of the Ladybird cars there, 507. They had trouble early on and are running down in 44th. Merlin Glanville driving that car. That ended up in the gravel in the first couple of laps. Loving the psychedelic livery on the 320 car. There's 521 Progressive Motorsport. They were up in second place, but had to be towed out of the gravel, sadly, after Steve James lost it at the old hairpin. On the edge, Motorsport, on the edge of the track there, trying to get past the number 446 car of Team TAC. Okay, the leader has come through to complete lap 54. He did a 1:53.4 that time through. We know that Ross McEwen, the quicker of the two drivers. If I remember rightly, Ross used to do British GT a few years ago. It's Alex McEwen sharing. With all due respect to him, not quite as quick as Ross. Patrick Sharpfigger is closing in. There he is, the number 500. What's the gap going to be this time through? He could do another personal best here. Over the line they come. No, not quite a personal best. Similar though, 1:49.742. Only a few hundredths off his last lap time. He's got the gap down to 1 minute 4 now. With just under 23 minutes to go. With a couple of back markers. Look at this, 4-5 abreast into the chicane. This is never going to work. Somebody's going to have to back out there. They've all made it round. Over the curb goes the Auto Farm car on the inside. He had to back out. And through the middle, excuse me, comes the Meltune car. Said it was like the M1 on a bad day. This is great stuff. Look at this in the midfield. Is that a black flag going out? No message. We can't see the number that's been given to. There's no message on the timing screen as to who that is. So I'm not sure. I think I saw a black flag out there being shown to somebody. Don't think it was a black and orange flag for technical infringement. So black flag means being called in, you're in trouble. 4 wide down the crane of curves. This is never going to work. They're still at it in there. The 446 car, the TAC car, and one of them's lost it. I had a feeling that was going to happen. It's the On The Edge Motorsport car. Number 454 is going into the gravel. There goes another one. And into the gravel goes 454. Well, On The Edge Motorsport, they've gone over the edge there. Now, who was driving that? Where are they in the order? Quite a way back that car was. Yes, Alex Toyne running in 42nd place. Now, that car's already been towed in once and got a 3-lap penalty. They're going to get another one here. That same bit of the Craner curves again. He was lucky not to be hit from behind there. Throws mud and gravel all over the road. And in he goes. On the edge, over the edge, into the gravel trap. Now, what's the lead gap going to be this time through? Here comes Patrick Scharfegger. The gap was 1:04. It's down to 1:01 now. Another personal best for Scharfegger, 1:49.451. 21 minutes of the race still to go. Yellow flags out at the Craner curves with that car off, so no passing there. He's got to stay behind Emax Motorsport there. Meanwhile, here's our leader. He's got Team Insane ahead of him, the yellow and silver car there. AASP Motorsport still going ahead of him, and Ladybird. Alex McEwen just being careful with the back markers here. Just got to keep a cool head. Hope that Patrick Scharfegger doesn't suddenly loom up in his mirrors. Long way to go yet. This is going to be close. Alex McEwen is upping his pace. His last lap was a 1:52, this time a 1:54. About 4 seconds off the pace Ross was setting. Here comes Scharfegger. He's ahead of Emax Motorsport number 345. One of the littles on board that car there, 10th. Scharfegger continuing to push on. So, a lap takes just under 2 minutes. Somebody going off. Well, that's Steve James again. The 521 car. He's already had a couple of offs in this race. Keeps it going, though. Doesn't find the gravel. They're down in 27th place. Progressive Motorsports. See that again. Is that same bit of track? Yep. Again, the Craner curves, catches somebody out backwards onto the grass. Just clips the gravel with the rear wheel. More mayhem at the old hairpin. As we said, no notification on the timing of who got a black flag there. We can see a black flag out on the start line. We don't know who it is, unfortunately. So apologies there. Now, over the line comes Scharfegger. 56.1 seconds is now the gap. There is our leader. Now he's at McLean's. The leader coming, the second place man, Scharfegger, coming over the line. So there's about half a lap in it now. That's the gap that Scharfegger has got to chase down. McEwen lapping about 4 seconds a lap slower than Scharfegger. 4 or 5 or so seconds a lap slower. So this is going to be close. I think Scharfegger will almost catch him. I think he might just run out of time. It's coming up on the Western family car there, number 460 to lap it. Needs to keep a cool head. What's his lap time this time through? He was a one in the 154s. Comes up over the line again, 154.1 for the Scottish machine. CSC Racing, well, they're 2 cars dominating. What's the gap back to third? Yeah, 7.4 seconds ahead of James Down for Hybrid Tune. Full Circle Racing. It's between the 2 CSC cars. Well, waits for Patrick Scharfegger then. He's about half a lap behind. He's closing slowly but surely. A few seconds a lap he's taking out of our leader, who comes down the Craner curves and he's lost it. The leader's gone and 320 spins in sympathy. Off goes the race leader. Is he going to find the gravel? He's got to keep it out of the gravel. He's in the gravel. Can Alex McEwen keep it going? He's got to keep it going. That's the leader in the gravel in the inside of the old hairpin. What an incredible development. He stopped. He's stuck. Oh, Alex McEwen, he had the race at his mercy. I wonder if the nerves just got to him there. What a disappointment. So it looks as though 500 Patrick Scharfegger, we were all set for a grand chase. It's all come apart for the leader. And Patrick Scharfegger is going to take the lead for the second of the CSC racing cars. We'll see again what happened there. That same bit of the Craner curves. The car just goes lights. 320 AASP, that car spun in avoidance there. It looked as though he was going to try and avoid the gravel. He couldn't do so. Poor Alex McEwen. He will be absolutely gutted there. So Patrick Scharfegger will take the lead. The safety car coming out, and it's the lead car. We said it ain't over till that checkered flag drops. So it's going to be, there is Scharfegger. He's taken the lead. Hang on to. Here we go. Phalanx of backmarkers heads through first of all. The race lead, you can just see him on the exhibition straight there in the background. As the battlers ahead of them. Meltune Motorsports have made a move on the restart. They're up into 4th place. They've got ahead of Auto Farm. So Luke Haberman's up to 4th, but they're nearly a lap down on the top 3. Okay, let's see what the gap is as they come out to cross the line. There's 4 back markers between 1st and 2nd place. They can't pass before the timing line. Here they come, there's the leader, over the line into lap 60. 4.5 seconds in it between the two of them. James Down in 2nd place, and less than a second back is Rory Clark. Okay, here we go. Settling into a 10-minute sprint race that this 2.5-hour enduro has been turned into by the race being turned on its head effectively when Alex McEwen spun into the gravel out of the lead. Okay, here we go. Down the Craner curves. First lap of the restart, they'll have to be careful. They'll know their tyres will have cooled down during that safety car period. You can see it has dried out quite a lot by now. That's good news for the trucks, who still have a race to go today. There's Hybrid Tune in 2nd. In fact, have they lost out there? I think Rory Clark has got through on that restart. We'll see as they come through here. Yes, Rory Clark's got 2nd place for JW Bird. He's got ahead of Hybrid Tune. There he is. Back marker in there as well, but it is Rory Clark up into 2nd in car number 356 now. So he's going to lead the chase of Patrick Scharfegger, I think. There he is on the inside, car with the white roof. Loads of back markers ahead. Clark sharing with Jeff Clark. So we could still have a Scottish team win today. There he is up the inside of the 459. Hybrid Tune caught in the middle. That was close. He was going to be hit by the 377 car there of That's the Badger. This is the fight for the lead. Somewhere in there is Patrick Scharfegger. There he is. The gap was 4.453 seconds to be precise. Up the inside. Excuse me, he says to the back markers. Just keeping a cool head here. Patrick Scharfegger for CSC Racing. Look at this, 3 and 4 abreast through the chicane. They somehow fitted through there. Here he comes then, over the line. Patrick Scharfegger. 61 laps completed, the gap increasing by half a second. 4.98 is now the lead margin. Over Rory Clark, now 2nd, ahead of Hybrid Tune. There's the 2nd place car diving to the inside, frantically trying to carve through the back markers. He's got to be careful here, Rory Clark, the young Scotsman. He's taking a few risks there in car number 356. Chased by James Down for Hybrid Tune, Full Circle Racing. Down they come through the Craner curves. This is where all the spins have happened. Goes out wide, avoiding the slickest part of the circuit. Hybrid Tune are caught in traffic there behind them. A little bit of clear air for Clark to work with as they start their chase of race leader Patrick Scharfegger. There's so many back markers to be negotiated. Is that going to hold them back too much? Is Scharfegger going to be able to get away in car 500? He's in there somewhere. Patrick Scharfegger, you can hear the tyres squealing on the turns as the drivers take a few risks here. Scharfegger, I think, at the head of this little group. I just caught a glimpse there. There he is. He's coming down the exhibition straight. I can see Clark in the background. It's about half the length of the exhibition straight between the two of them. He's got Emax Motorsport in behind him. There's Clark. Here comes Scharfegger through to complete lap 62. 6 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock as he crosses the line. From the JW Bird Motorsport entry of Rory Clark, what's the gap going to be? It's increased, it's 6.6 seconds now. He's having a better time of it with the back markers, Patrick Scharfegger. He's got more clear air to work with. There's Clark, the red car with the white roof. And there's Hybrid Tune, the number 388. That's the 3rd place car. 4th place is still Auto Farm, number 522, driven by Michael Wasty. Meltune Motorsport now back down into 5th place. They're having a good little scrap. It's down the Craners, heads Patrick Scharfegger. He needs to remember not to get complacent. He knows the Craner curves are still very slippery. They can catch out the unwary, as they did to Alex McEwen. So can Patrick Scharfegger spare CSC Racing Team's blushes? There's Clark. He's getting clear of James Down now. You can see that. Emax Motorsport, they've got back in front of the race leader here. They're having their own battle with #Blessed. That's for position, because Emax Motorsport have got 6th position back ahead of the blue car there. They're having their own fight for position. They don't want Scharfegger involved here. They want him to get out of their way. Scharfegger's concentrating on trying to get away from them so he can concentrate on winning. 5 minutes to go, less than that. Where is Rory Clark? There he is. Second of those 2 red cars in the background. You can see Scharfegger ahead of him. 6.6 seconds was the gap. Scharfegger will be nervous here. He'll be hoping the Emax Motorsport car ahead of him doesn't lose it. There's Clark. There's Down, the yellow and white. This is what it all boils down to. We haven't got long left. 63 laps completed now. The gap is still 6.5 seconds, so it's stabilised on that lap, although Clark just did his personal best lap, 1:50.105. He's pushing as hard as he dares. There's Rory Clark. 3.88 in 3rd place. There is Hybrid Tune, lapping in the 150s as well, although a few tenths of a second slower. His last lap was a 1:50.8. Auto Farm still 4th, but they're quite a way down the road. They've got Luke Haberman from Meltune Motorsports on their tail. See, it is drying out all the time, but the drivers don't want to, as we said, they don't want to get complacent and start taking risks. Here's Scharfegger. He's let, I think he's let the 326 car go back ahead of him there, Chris Etheridge, so he can continue his battle with Emax Motorsports, #Blessed, and they won't get in his way. Doesn't want to get embroiled in that fight and maybe let it hold him up, or at worst put him wide onto the grass. He's got 3 minutes to go, so a couple more laps to go. I don't think Rory Clark's going to do it. I think this is going to be a win for CSC Racing, but don't count your chickens before the checkered flag drops. Through the chicane. Down the straight. He's let the back markers go there, have their own race. Over the line. Less than 3 minutes to go. Second place man's in there somewhere, Rory Clark. No, that's the 440 car, sorry, the MSAR car. The gap is now up to 7.75 seconds, so yes, I think Scharfegger's done enough. There's Clark. Goes out wide there. Cuts back in again, lets the back marker go. Last lap was a little bit slower. They're all doing personal best, so it's clearly drying out there. New fastest lap of the race for Chris Etheridge for Team Blessed. 1:47.9, so it's definitely drying out. Well, there's Alex McEwen. Where is the 497 car in the classification now after their disaster? Yeah, 3-lap toe-back penalty. They're now in 40th place. Car that led for so long. There's Rory Clark side by side with the 506. That's one of the Ladybird cars. Patrick Watts. Leader just taking it easy now. He knows he's lapping about a second quicker than Rory Clark last time through. This is going to be last lap this time for Patrick Scharfegger. Car started by Simon Killam for CSC Racing. It looks like they're heading for victory. Just one more lap to go this time. He's got the 381 Amigo Motorsport car ahead of him there, the Robertson's car. Moves down the inside into the chicane, no problem there. Looks like it is going to be CSC Racing. Luke Haberman's got back ahead of Michael Wasty further back. They're having a good scrap for 4th. Last lap board is out. for Patrick Scharfegger. 49 seconds left as he crossed the line. 8.6 seconds is now his gap back to Rory Clark. James Down a further 3 seconds back in third. They're not going to catch the 500 car. He's just got to negotiate the slippery Craner curves one last time. There's our second place car, Rory Clark. They won't catch Patrick Scharfegger now. Here he comes. Goes out a little bit wide to avoid the more slippery part of the track there. Just easing it towards the old hairpin. He'll be nervous through there after all the spins earlier on. He holds it together. There's Clark in second, down towards the old hairpin. Along the bottom section of the course, past the old bridge. Now he is having a go at Chris Etheridge. Looks like that car's going to get the fastest lap of the race. Up towards McLean's, round the outside of the blue machine. Here he comes. The car started by Simon Killam. It's experienced C1 racer Patrick Scharfegger. Looking set to give the team their first win of the season in a soaking wet safety car bedeviled race here at Donington Park. You have to feel for the McEwens. We're all set to win in the other CSC racing car until a late spin with 15 minutes to go. The clock has counted down to 0. Emax Motorsport could steal fastest lap here. They pulled away from the Blessed car. Coming down into the chicane in the number 500 car. It's going to be a win for Patrick Scharfegger and Simon Killam. Here they come up towards the finish line. And there is the checkered flag. CSC Racing, Simon Killam and Patrick Scharfegger win the C1 Challenge here at Donington Park. Jeff and Rory Clark for JW Motorsport come over in second place, 9.2 seconds down. Rory Clark celebrates, and third are Hybrid Tune, keeping up their run of podiums this year. Hybrid Tune Full Circle Racing, the car crewed by Ben Simmons, Tom Griffiths and James Down. Meltune will take fourth place, I think, a little further back. And we'll confirm the rest of the result when we can. What a marathon that was. It turned into a 10-minute sprint. Patrick Scharfegger hanging on to take the win. 66 laps completed. Emax Motorsport stole fastest lap on the very last lap of the race, 1:47.044, showing how much it had dried out. That was the car that set pole position. They had to settle for sixth in the final result, behind Meltune Motorsport's fourth, Auto Farm fifth. Only 3 cars on the lead lap. Well, there we go then. CSC Racing, number 500. Patrick Scharfegger and Simon Killam, your winners. Well, we've still got one race scheduled to go today, which will be the second race of the British Truck Racing Championship. That will now be a 12-minute race, a slightly shorter race for the trucks. And after that, we will close for the day. And we'll pick up tomorrow at around 9:30 tomorrow morning with our first race. We've still got one race to go today. Well done to the C1s. You have to feel for CSC Racing's other crew, the McEwen family. They ended up in 40th place after leading for so long. Poor Alex and Ross McEwen. They had that race sewn up until that incident. 15 minutes left. We'll confirm the results then in just a moment. As the cars head back into the paddock, some very tired crews there. Here's your results then. CSC Racing with Patrick Scharfegger and Simon Killam take the win. The Clark family for JW Bird Motorsport 9.2 seconds down in second place, and Hybrid Tune Full Circle Racing take third. 4th place, the Auto Farm car, Steve Wood and Michael Wasty. In 5th place, Meltune Motorsports, the Harbermans and Ron Johnson. 6th were Emax Motorsport, the Littles, with Stuart Ratcliffe. They got fastest lap, the car that started on pole. 7th place going to #Blessed. 8th were Team JTR. CSC Racing with FDL Packaging finished 9th, and Cat DT rounding out the top 10. 11th were DFTS Racing. AASP Motorsport, after a late spin, finished 12th. Team TAC were 13th. Daniel with Emax Motorsport 14th, and Cock Endurance completing the top 15. Beyond that, Amigo Motorsport with Gala Performance was 16th. The other Amigo Motorsport car, the Robertson family, 17th. Patrick Watts brought the Ladybird car home in 18th. That's the Badger, 19th. CTS Motorsport completing the top 20. Morwin Motorsport, after a few grassy moments, ended up 21st. Track Talk 22nd with Amigo Motorsport. 23rd were the Harvey team. 24th, Silver Lake 1. SEM Racing were 25th, ahead of Apex Performance. Team Black Pudding, Squadra Budino Nero were 27th. MSAR 28th, then Spencer Western Racing and the second Emax Motorsport car rounding out the top 30. Beyond that, the car that started at the back and was briefly in the top 5, 3 Spark Racing finished third.